All right, guys, we are back for part 3. Let's finish this flower up. So I'm gonna organize these. So since we cut 2 of each of our shapes, I'm gonna separate them. So these 2 are the same, these 2 are the same, and these 2 are the same. So this is gonna be, what is it? That's layer 1, 2, 3. This is gonna be layer 4, and this is gonna be layer 5. For this layer, we're gonna stop rotating them. These ones are gonna be on squarely. So we're gonna put, and placement-wise, we're gonna put them lower, so we're still dropping, so we're not flush this way. We wanna make them lower. So we're gonna make it lower, still cut that seam, so it's rule of 3, and then put them right down there. So let's put, this is important to put glue right on the edge, because if you put it any higher, it's not gonna really hit well. So when you're gluing it, you're gonna wanna push up on this side, and that's also gonna help cone up the flower more, give it more shape. I'm gonna grab the next one and do the exact same thing. You're gonna find your split, go a little lower, shape it on. And one more for this layer. Okay, just like so. Okay, so that's your next layer. Okay, now we're gonna do with the next layer, we're gonna go a little bit lower. And so this one, instead of putting it like more on the middle, so from a top down, you can't really see this petal now if you put it right in the middle. So we're actually gonna cheat it out a little bit. So you've got, you've got your center and so this is the center, and you're gonna cheat it out a bit. So that way you can see it from the top. It's also gonna be lower because you want it to fan out and fan down low instead of be all the same size. So this one, it's really, really important to only put glue on the edge. So same thing, just along this line, towards the edge, and kind of curl it up. And we're gonna do it again. The order you do the flower petals, not a big deal. Plus you have a little minute before your glue dries to kind of mess with it, pull it, rotate it. And then last petal. And just match that and glue that on. And I kind of just like put my hand over top and push down a little bit just to make sure that's secure. So this part, so your rose is done. So we're gonna pull off some strings, and this is the part where you can kind of get in and you can pull these petals apart if you want. You can push them back in. You have a lot of leeway. Like for instance here, I've got a little bit of glue that rolled over from when I was rolling them. You can clip them off. And just really, you can roll it a little tighter. You have your rose. All right, let's move on to the leaves and finishing it. I'm gonna go ahead and start my iron and get that heated up. And most important, make sure you have a heat-proof surface to iron on. I just use a piece of felt to protect my mat. Felt is a great conductor of heat. It's great to iron on, and it's great to iron. Okay, so in your kit, I cut the green felt down. You're gonna cut 4 of these leaves. We're cutting 4 of these. So here's your stencil. So I like to cut it down. It gives me more control. I cut out each stencil. This is a freezer paper stencil. So the shiny side is what you're ironing down, and that's actually gonna stick to your felt. So we're gonna put that down. I'm only gonna cut 1 leaf out for the video. And then you're gonna take, this is your base. This is gonna be the base of your flower on the bottom to cover up the wire and just kind of put a nice leaf on the end. Again, we're gonna throw that down too. So we're gonna get our iron here. I have this on the highest setting, the linen cotton. Just get that on there nice and good. Now, if you get the kit that's already got this cut out, obviously you can skip this step. So now we're gonna cut these out. So for this one, I like to use my snips because you can just get in there. So for the fine corner spots, I skip till the end and I get a general shape first so I can have more fluid motions. So the more you rotate the felt, the less you're chopping, the smoother your cut's gonna be. I also like to cut away as much as possible the scrap because it gets in the way and it's annoying. All right, so we're gonna go down. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. So from this direction, I'm doing it a little bit off different.
As you're topping up.
We're gonna go just because it's starting to get in my way and you can snip that out. Curve and snip. Okay, keep going. And obviously cut as much, however you're comfortable with. You just want to get this general shape. And remember, they're leaves, it's grown in nature, they're not all perfect, not all leaves are the same, does not have to be perfect. All right, so now I'm gonna go back in and cut out these little corners. And this is what I like about these snip scissors is that it's sharp right up to the edge and I can really get a nice corner. And again, I have a link to my Amazon shop down below where these scissors are at. Okay, ta-da! All right, so now we remove our stencil. It just peels right off and we have our cutout leaf. And now if you have any if you have any parts that are just kind of a little wonky, just bring your scissors in. You can round any corners, clean up any frayed threads, and you're good to go. We'll do that again with this leaf. I cut a base petal and we have a total of 4 of these now. First things first, we're gonna get our 18 gauge wire, our needle nose pliers, and we're gonna put the pliers right at the end and we're gonna roll. So I'm doing like twisting my hand like 180 degrees to make a circle. We're gonna grab the circle part and twist in. So basically we're making a coil, but we're making it a very flat coil. Because this is a hefty flower, I'm gonna roll it a few times. So we're about yay big. We're gonna grab the bulk of our circle and twist. This stuff takes a little bit of practice. This is what we're doing. We're twisting it in front of that other wire. So kind of just bending it down. We're gonna flatten it now and just sandwich it. So now it had a little gap there. Our gap is gone. So it's like circle on top of flat wire. I'm gonna grab right in between and rotate up. So now we're basically making this little coil. Oh, there it is. This little coil stand that our flower sits on. So we like this base. It just gives our flower structure and it just gives it a little bit more weight and adheres to this wire better. Okay, we're gonna get our leaf base and our awl. We're gonna go stab right in the middle. If you don't have an awl, you can stab it with your wire. You can use a needle, a push pin. I've even used like a finishing nail before. The wire is a little bit hard, but if you put it on, so this felt is all fibers that are jointed together. So if you put this wire on top and just slowly twist it down, it will eventually go through. So we have our hole and we've popped our wire in. Okay, so I kind of arranged that on there. Now we're gonna put a generous amount of glue. I just do little loops all around and then some right there on the base. We're gonna grab our flower, just center it right on there. And I kind of put my hand over it and cup the bottom part up just so everything adheres well. And I do the same with the wire. I just push up. You just want really good contact and you want everything to be on there really well. You don't want anything falling apart. And if you smash anything at this point, feel free to just open it back up and adjust it. So here is your flower, like so. We're gonna work on our leaves. So this is when your 22 gauge wire comes in. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut it. The exact length doesn't really matter so much, but you want it bigger than 5 inches, less than 6 inches. So we'll just choose 6 inches, about here. That's why I love these pliers, is they've got the cutter and the tip, so it's just one less tool that you need. Put that one aside. Grab 2 leaves. Now, I don't like them so long. It's just a little bit harder to adhere to the wire. Got them looking funky, so I cut a little bit. I make them a little bit flatter. We'll do one at a time, and we'll just put a little circle of glue there. The wire here, and fold up, like so. And if any glue comes out the side right here, you can just nip that off with scissors. Don't even worry about it. We'll just come through here, nip it off. No one's gonna know. All right, we're gonna do it again on this side. And fold up. So now we have our leaves. Perfect. And we get our smaller wire here, and we're gonna cut this one down to about 2.5 inches. Again, doesn't really matter. You just want a smaller wire. So the shorter you are, the less times you're wrapping it around. The longer it is, the more spread out and more wrapping you're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna grab our other 2 leaves and do the same thing. I'm gonna trim them down just a hair again. We're gonna put a little dollop of glue. Pinch tight. Do the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna trim off the excess again. And sometimes I like to trim it regardless if there's glue there, because it kind of gives it a nice arc down to your wire. Just kind of like blends down into your wire a little bit better. So you're gonna take your small leaf and your big leaf. We're gonna wrap. So I'm gonna spread these out a little bit because I've got some space. A little bit, like maybe 3/4 of an eighth, maybe 5/8 of an inch out from the wire. I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on this bottom finger to hold the wire up, and we're just gonna twist. And you wanna twist this as tightly as you can around so it's not flopping around. We're just gonna keep twisting a few times. So this is what I'm talking about. You're either gonna, if your wire's too long, you're gonna twist a bunch. If your wire's too short, you may not get enough meat around there, and it may be a little floppy and loose. So it's totally up to you. It also depends on how far you want your leaves out and how much wiggle room you want to use. Okay, like that. So this is the part where you can be like, I want my leaves out like this or here. You have the flexibility to move them wherever you want. Okay, grab our flower. We're doing the exact same thing of wrapping like this one, but now on this wire. So this time I'm going probably like maybe 1.25 inches out, putting a lot of pressure on this finger just to keep this tight and wrapping. So this is probably a little bit longer. You could probably go shorter, but at least it gives you lots of flexibility. Okay, so now the leaves look a little funky, but that's when we can just bend them up. We can bend them out a little. Move these guys. That's the great thing about wire, is you have so much control and flexibility over it, and don't be afraid to bend things and move things to get the look that you really want. So this is the time I kind of go around and fuss over everything, pull off any loose fibers, any glue spider webs, fix any petals, fuss with leaves, but that's it. You made a rose, which is super exciting. And I love this rose. This might be my favoriteest rose right here. And then make more and then add them to a rose bouquet or add them to other flower bouquets, and you can never go wrong with your simple garden rose. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for joining me as we made the Sweetheart Rose today. Again, if you need more kits, more materials, find the shop link below and you can get this kit, more felt balls, all the materials you need to make this rose. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Also, below we have links to my shop, links to the Amazon shop to get all of the tools that I mentioned earlier, some extra materials that were mentioned earlier. So thank you again so much, and if you have any questions, leave a comment and I will be sure to answer them. Thanks, guys.